Hey guys, for nearly a decade, Street Outlaws roared through television screens as a raw, high-octane portrayal of underground street racing. And at the center of it all stood Big Chief, real name Justin Shearer, arguably the most influential and controversial figure in the show's history. From his early roots racing on Old Route 66 to his throne as race master of the infamous OKC Top 10 list, Big Chief built an empire fueled by adrenaline, horsepower, and charisma. But behind the roaring engines and showmanship, his journey was also marked by personal rivalries, fractured friendships, and bitter feuds that eventually led to his stunning exit from the franchise. Now, Big Chief is pulling back the curtain on the biggest enemies and the fractured relationships that turned Street Outlaws into more than just a show, but a battleground. Sean "Murder Nova, perhaps the most painful rift of all, was between Big Chief and longtime partner Sean "Murder Nova" Ellington. The two were once inseparable, tuning cars together, building their racing business, and crafting some of the most iconic cars on the street. The Crow, OG Murder Nova, and others. But the cracks started to show when competitiveness turned into accusations. Big Chief publicly accused Murder Nova of using nitrous oxide in Season 3, an act that would be considered cheating under certain race agreements. Things escalated in Season 6, when Chief alleged Murder Nova had installed a leave button, giving him an edge at the start line. In an emotionally charged YouTube interview, Big Chief explained how their priorities had diverged. While Chief remained laser-focused on street racing, Murder Nova branched off to launch 187 customs with fellow racer Phantom, all while focusing more on family and business. By January 2021, their partnership was officially over, and Big Chief's spot on America's list was given to Murder Nova. Still, Chief bore no ill will in public. His personality fits better as race master, he admitted, a nod to their diverging leadership styles. But fans knew that years of camaraderie had come to a painful end. Kelly's rivalry with Big Chief was less about personal drama and more about sheer performance. When the New Orleans-based driver first appeared on Street Outlaws in 2014, he made an immediate impact, beating some of the 405's best and leaving a mark on the hierarchy. In 2015, during a Cash Days race in Texas, Kelly dethroned many big names, including Big Chief himself, and walked away with $16,000. While there was no overt feud between the two, the tension was palpable. Kai's rise forced Chief and others in the 405 crew to reevaluate their positions and approach to racing. Over time, Kelly became a central figure in Street Outlaws, further highlighting the growing generational and regional divides within the franchise. James "Reaper" Goad. If Murder Nova's split from Chief was a slow unraveling, James "Reaper" Goad's feud was a full-on collision. Reaper openly accused Big Chief of manipulating situations on Street Outlaws to benefit himself, while holding others back. According to Reaper, Chief's control over the show's internal politics was detrimental to racers who weren't in his close circle. Ironically, Reaper wasn't free from controversy either. His car, the Reaper, was often criticized for bending the rules, particularly its resemblance to a pro mod, which many believe disqualified it from street status. Rumors spread that production wanted him gone, a theory bolstered by Reaper's frequent clashes with the show's evolving format. Despite his frustrations, Reaper never fully walked away, leaving fans and fellow racers confused about his intentions. Still, the public shots fired at Big Chief contributed to an atmosphere of distrust and divided loyalties on set. Precious Cooper, dubbed the Queen of the Streets, came into Street Outlaws from the Memphis crew with something to prove, and she did just that. Her fierce competitiveness and undeniable skill quickly made her a fan favorite. But behind the scenes, tensions flared between her and Big Chief during Season 2 of America's List, a spin-off featuring elite racers from across the country. At the center of the argument was the controversial Race Your Way in policy, which allowed some Memphis racers to enter without qualifying. Big Chief defended the rule, saying it added flexibility to the competition, but Precious saw it differently, accusing him of playing favorites. The disagreement turned heated, so much so that Big Chief and his girlfriend, Jackie Brash, walked off the show. Though neither party confirmed the full extent of the feud, Chief later released a YouTube video citing his discontent with the show's direction and how he felt disrespected by production decisions. Perhaps the most painful revelations came not from individual rivalries, but from Big Chief's reflections on how the entire 405 crew, the very group that made Street Outlaws what it was, began to fracture. Once built on camaraderie, shared ambition, and pure love for the street racing scene, the crew slowly succumbed to the pressures of fame and ratings. Chief was particularly vocal about changes to America's List, expressing frustration over rules he saw as biased toward Memphis drivers and inconsistent with the spirit of street racing. In his post-departure videos, he made it clear that his issue wasn't with losing races, but with what he saw as the show losing its soul. He also emphasized that contrary to speculation, money was never the reason for his departure. In fact, with an estimated net worth of $2 million, Big Chief continues to thrive through his shop, YouTube content, and independent racing appearances. His decision to leave was rooted in principle, something that endeared him further to loyal fans, but also solidified his departure from the mainstream Street Outlaws fold. Today, Big Chief is no longer the face of Street Outlaws, but he's far from retired. Through Midwest streetcars and his online presence, he continues to innovate, race, and speak candidly about his experiences. With Jackie Brash by his side, he's embraced a more grassroots approach, one that aligns with his original love for unfiltered, unscripted, high-stakes street racing. The drama, the feuds, and the revelations have all taken their toll, but Big Chief's story is far from over. If anything, stepping away from the franchise has allowed him to reclaim the passion that first brought him to the streets of Oklahoma City as a teenager. By revealing the truths behind the tension, whether with Murder Nova, Reaper, Precious Cooper, or the 405 crew, Big Chief has done more than clear the air. He's reminded fans that behind every burnout, behind every high-speed duel, there are real relationships, real struggles, and real consequences. And if his recent reflections have made one thing clear, it's that even when you're at the top, sometimes your biggest enemies aren't on the other side of the starting line. They're standing right beside you. Big Chief's revelations about the internal strife within Street Outlaws have not only shocked longtime fans, but also opened up a broader conversation about how reality TV can distort relationships for the sake of entertainment. For many viewers, the show appeared to be a brotherhood of racers driven by a shared love of speed. But according to Chief, the reality behind the scenes was often much more cutthroat. The pressures of keeping ratings high and delivering constant drama to producers led to manipulated narratives, favoritism, and increasing friction among cast members. This toxic environment, he claims, eventually became incompatible with his values as both a racer and a person. Beyond the professional fallouts, Big Chief's personal relationships also came under strain. His divorce from Alicia Shearer in 2017 was widely publicized. And though not directly tied to his role on Street Outlaws, the demands of the show and its schedule likely contributed to mounting pressures at home. After his split, his relationship with Jackie Brash became more visible, both in racing circles and media coverage. Jackie's own involvement in racing made her a natural partner for Big Chief in his post-Street Outlaws ventures, including YouTube videos, appearances at independent races, and collaborative work at Midwest streetcars. Jackie herself became a point of contention during Big Chief's final season on America's List. Reports surfaced that some cast members and even producers questioned her presence at the races, particularly when she appeared to be influencing key decisions. Big Chief, however, stood by her, stating that she was not only an accomplished racer, but also one of the few people he trusted during a time when alliances within the show were crumbling. Her support, according to Chief, was instrumental in his decision to leave the franchise on his own terms rather than compromise his integrity. Since stepping away from the show, Big Chief has redefined his role in the street racing world. No longer tethered to the rules and editing decisions of reality television, he now focuses on producing authentic content that showcases real races, technical builds, and behind-the-scenes shop life. His YouTube channel has gained traction among die-hard racing fans who felt the original spirit of Street Outlaws had been lost in its later seasons. Chief's raw, unscripted approach has reminded viewers of what initially drew them to the street racing scene: grit, passion, and authenticity. Meanwhile, the Street Outlaws franchise continues without one of its most iconic figures. While Morton has stepped into a leadership role and new racers have joined the ranks, many fans still feel Big Chief's absence. Comment sections across social media are filled with nostalgia for the golden era of the show when Big Chief was at the helm. Some even speculate whether his departure marked a turning point in the series, shifting it further from its grassroots origins toward a more heavily produced reality show format. Despite the setbacks, Big Chief has maintained a relatively positive outlook on his journey. He acknowledges the opportunities Street Outlaws provided him: exposure, financial growth, and a platform to elevate street racing. Yet he remains critical of how fame altered the dynamic between racers and how production demands often took priority over fairness and community. His candid storytelling now serves as both a reflection on his past and a roadmap for future racers seeking to navigate the world of televised motorsports without losing themselves in the process. In the end, Big Chief's story isn't one of defeat, it's one of evolution. By choosing to walk away from the fame and politics of Street Outlaws, he's reclaimed control over his narrative and returned to the roots that fueled his passion in the first place. The enemies he encountered along the way, whether former friends, rival racers, or corporate pressures, only helped clarify what truly matters to him. Today, he races not for the cameras, but for the thrill, the challenge, and the community that first welcomed a young Justin Shearer onto old Route 66 so many years ago.